Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. I'm getting right back into the swing of things. It's my first day kind of back in my craft room with half a brain. And I'm just starting out. I was struggling with my glue, so I just kind of jumped in on the video, but I've been fighting with my glue for a few minutes. If you hear that crying, my daughter, as always, is perfectly timing her tantrums upstairs. But she's with somebody, so she should be good. So I have my glue. I'm putting it on this book spine. So basically what I'm doing is preparing this book spine for making it into a journal. And I'll show you what all that is in a couple of minutes once I get this on here, because the hardest part about turning an old book into a journal is waiting for the glue to dry so you can do the next step. This was somebody that I don't know if the person, I plan to ask them, I just haven't had an opportunity yet. They reached out to me on Etsy, so I'm not sure if they just found me through Etsy or if they're familiar with me on YouTube. So if you happen to have found me on YouTube and you're watching this, I'd love to know that that's how you found me. But they reached out on Etsy and asked if I could make a very specific journal, and it seemed like something I could do, so I said yes. And so this was a pre-order journal. I don't always do that, but as I kind of get to it and show you, you might understand why I kind of made an exception this time. Because it's not your average junk journal, and it seemed like a fun and quick challenge for me. So when I do this with my spine, I will put glue here, but then I will put glue along the edge just so I don't miss any edges, so I don't have anything peeling up. So I don't usually put the glue directly on the fabric, but I will do it right along the edge only. And I have somewhere a handy dandy baby wipe that will probably make this a lot easier. So I don't know why I'm getting covered in glue when I have a baby wipe. And then just get that excess off, smooth that down. I picked a non-directional fabric, so it does not matter what's up and what's down right now. It will in a little while, but it doesn't matter right now. Actually, come to think of it, it doesn't really matter at all for this journal, and I will show you why. So this is another extra large journal. I have packs on my Etsy shop of the pages that came out of this book. It was a set of books. I had like something like 25 of them. A lot of them had black and white pages with really cool illustrations, and I still have quite a few of those packs available because I had quite a few of those books. They are really cool in that they're old enough that even though they're like an encyclopedia kind of magazine type of book, their pages are all paper. So if you do mixed media, they would be really fun to put on, like, say, a gel plate, I think. I definitely have a gel plate that someday I plan to use, and that is definitely on my list of things that I would love to put on a gel plate, is the pages from this book. So I have those page packs, and this is the Handyman Encyclopedia. So you can see this is number 26. I had a big collection of them, and I made a rather large pack, and the packs actually have a page, each page is from a different book. So I think, I can't quite remember, but I think it was like a 25 page pack. So you get 25 pages if you order, you know, and they're each from a different book. If you ordered more than 25, you would get more than one from the same book, but it would still be, you know, a different page. So that's still cool. And I mean, if they're all from different sections, so it was like a do it yourself, and it included all sorts of, I'm just gonna get the glue off my scissors now. I got these new scissors. They are fabric scissors, but I have carpal tunnel, so I only use the spring-loaded scissors. I found personally for me, it makes a huge difference with the amount of cutting I do. So when I was working at Joann and they were on sale for a really good price, even though they were fabric scissors, I got a bunch, and I'm just indicating to myself which scissors are fabric and are not. Like I have 6 pair, maybe 8 pair of them now. So my old ones are going to be moved into paper, and then I have my new ones that are like, I still have some in the package that are brand new, and now I can have a pair in my travel bag. I can have a pair for normal everyday stuff. I just kind of have them all over the place now. So this is it. This is the cover. So the story here is that somebody saw the page packs on my Etsy and asked if I still had the covers and if I could make them a plain page journal out of the covers. So I have this journal cover now. It's ready to go. All I was going to do was reinforce the spine and then let it dry. So that's going to sit over here and dry off camera. If you're curious, this one had, I saved some pages for myself. So this one was a little bit more glossy pages, but the other books were black and white. They didn't have. So the Grow It Yourself seemed to be like an addition that was made later. But these are the pages I saved for myself that kind of give you an idea of what those pages looked like. So this person reached out to me and asked if I could make a plain white page journal. It's gonna almost come out functionally looking like a composition book kind of. So what I'm doing is I told them yes, I could do that because it's just plain paper. I figured it would be pretty quick, but I did have to buy special paper for it. I did not have anything that would have been big enough to make signatures, so I had an option between something that was too big and something that was too small, so I will have to trim down all the paper for this. And this paper doesn't even fit in the screen. Let's see if we can get it so you can see that there's like 3/4 of an inch here, and there's like 1.5 over here. I will have to trim down all the pages, and it's going to be 2 signatures, and each signature is going to have 20 pieces of paper. So we're going to have to rip into this, cut down all the pages. I'll probably do a few on camera and then pause it and do a little time jump so you guys don't have to watch me cut down 40 sheets of paper. And then I will fold them all and bind them all in and chat while I do that, and then we'll have our journal. And I made a private Etsy listing for them, so they've already purchased that, so that'll be pretty cool, and I can just send it on its way and then get back to working on craft fair stuff, craft fairs, art shows. So I only need 20 pages per signature. I'll fold them in half, but 20 pages per signature. 2 signatures, so I only need 40 pieces of paper, and I had to buy 500. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. They're sticking. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And I'm gonna throw in a couple extra for myself so I can have room to mess up. And then I'm not sure I'm gonna even be able to get this back in the pack. So I had to buy a pack of 500 paper, which is fine because I will definitely use this for some other big journals. You know, I've been enjoying making the big journals, so now I have paper that fits inside the big journals. But it was not something that I had on hand, so it was not like, yeah, it's not going back in. It's not necessarily the easiest project because I did have to go source new material for it, which I would normally say no to a commission where I had to source material for it because that's a lot. But in this case, since it was just plain white paper, I didn't have to worry about like checking with them, oh, is this the right thing? What if I can't find it? Because I just needed to find some plain white paper. My alarm just went off, so hopefully that didn't interrupt this. But what I'm just gonna do is I'm going to measure my cover, make my pages. So this cover is, I don't want my pages to be too big, so I do need to slightly round down. So this is gonna be 7 1/4 by slightly under 10 1/4. Is that what I wrote down? I had 7 1/2. Is that true? Now it looks like 7 1/2. I'm gonna do 7 1/4 because I don't want them to go over the edge, and we do have to have room for them to fold in half. I might have to trim it after I fold it. We'll see. So 7 1/4, but it's times 2. I don't know why anyone thinks this is easy. The hardest part of all this is the math. Alright, what if I, because I don't have a big trimmer, fold it in half first. And then I do 7 1/4 by just under 10 1/4. And then see how that fits in there. Alright, I think that works. What do we think? If we line it up. I think I need to go shorter actually. Because it's gonna kind of stick up. So 10. If I do to 10, is that going to be too short? This is why I grabbed extra paper, in case anyone's wondering. Because I don't trust myself. So it looks like 10 works. And then I am worried about it being too wide. Especially because it's going to bunch up a little bit when I put 20 pieces in there. But I think that'll be okay. So I have to fold them all in half in order to trim them properly. So join me while I fold 45 pieces, 40 pieces of paper in half. And then cut them all down. If you're wondering why you can't even see it, I was gonna say, if you're wondering why there's duct tape on my cutter, but you can't see it, so we're just gonna pretend it's not there now that I've brought it up. All right, so I'm gonna just grab a bone folder. This is the only one I have. I'm one of those people, we all are probably, but I'm one of those people for sure that loses my bone folder, but then mine disappear for eternity. So I don't know what to say about that. They never come back to me. So I'm gonna fold all the pages, and then I'm gonna cut all the pages, and that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next year of my life. So I do, for anyone that doesn't know, if you don't know, you don't know. For anyone that doesn't know, I do art shows and craft fairs in the summer. That's my primary source of income right now. And it is officially begins for me the first week of June. I have a big art show in August and a big art show in September. I have officially been, I've been accepted for 2 years in a row at each, but things can always change. But I have been officially accepted into the August one, so that's very exciting. And then the one in September, I will find out on July 7th. So fingers crossed that I do that one too, because that one's actually in my neighborhood. I love that one in September. It's very convenient for me. So I've got one in July as well. It's not a big one. It's my first time doing it. I'm not specifically excited about it because I don't like the organization and the communication around it seems like it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Like all the communication from the organizers has felt very, I guess, aggressive is the best way I can describe it. It's all felt like as far as I'm concerned, the people organizing the art show and the artists are on like the same team. We're all trying to help each other, make money and promote whatever our business is or whatever our brands or whatever, whatever is trying to be. Most people that do art shows are trying to raise money for something. When the towns do it, it's an organization in the town, it's the businesses, it's whatever. So I always consider that like I'm on the same team as the people organizing it. I don't see us as like competition or something. That would be silly. But all this communication from it seems aggressive and like they don't see us as being on the same team in this, which I find I guess alarming. And it makes me feel like if I need help or if something goes wrong or I don't do something the way they like, that there's going to be concerns or issues, and that's not really the environment I like to be in. It is further away. It's in a different town than I usually am. It's a very art-centric town, I guess. Like their farmers markets that they do are big and well attended and have a lot of businesses and have a lot of events, and they do a lot of art promoting. So I was excited at first, but the more I hear about it and the more communication I get from them, the more nervous I am. So that's in July. We'll see how that goes. And then I have one in August. I have two in August, actually. And then one in September. And that's all so far. I'm hoping for one in October. But we'll see. It is what it is. And right now I have the kids full time, so I don't have... a lot of time to make stuff, and you have to make stuff if you want to sell stuff. So the show I do in August, I typically do very well and I sell out a lot of my stuff, so it's usually like a bit of a hustle to even get as far as the one in September and feel like I have enough stuff for the one in September. So I don't really want to add to that too much until the kids are in school and I'm able to really increase the amount of stuff that I can make and increase my work hours. So my son starts kindergarten in August. He'll be full-time. My daughter is not yet 3, but once she turns 3, she'll be able to go to the preschool, and hopefully that will be by next January. So I know that's like really far away, but I'm looking forward to it. And it's between now and the prep for the next season of art shows for me. So I'm thinking about increasing the number of art shows I do and maybe driving further, because like I live in Chicago area and I could drive. I mean, I live in the suburbs. I could drive into the city for a show. I could drive, and it wouldn't be too much further away. I could drive up to Wisconsin and do some in some of the bigger cities there that are closer to the Illinois border. So I'm thinking if I'm able to increase the amount of stuff I can do during the winter, then I'll be able to increase the amount of shows I can do in the summer. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as like a long-term plan. And doing a regular YouTube video upload. Like if the kids are at school, I should be able to do a video every day or every 2 days instead of sporadically because they're home screaming in the background. It is really hard to film videos right now, and I love doing it, and I love like sharing my projects and my ideas, but it is really difficult at this point in time. So I think I'm done chattering away about my life for a bit. I'm going to pause the recording and try to finish up these folding all these pages, and then I'll come back and trim them and line them up. So I'm going to pause now and I will be back. Okay, so I have a pile of papers here. I'm going to start cutting them. I'm going to cut a few. Then I will end this video and do a second part for the binding. So I decided on 7 1/4 by 10. So I'm just going to cut, I think, 3 pieces at a time. We'll see. 7 1/4 by 10. Make sure I don't cut the side that I've folded, and then as we go, well, when we get to the end, I'll just make signatures that are just a stack of plain white pages. So it'll just be white pages, and it will look exactly the way that they wanted it to look. So that's that. I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna do all my folding and my trimming, make the signatures, and then I will come back to bind them all in. Thank you for watching. I know this is kind of boring, but you know, sometimes we make simpler projects, and that's what this is, and it will be done quickly. If anyone else is interested in commissioning a journal made from one of these covers, I do have like 25 other covers, and I'd be happy to do it. You'd have to reach out to me through Etsy, and I will give you a quote, and if you're okay with that quote, then I will go ahead and make it for you. Please remember to like my videos, comment on my videos, subscribe to my channel. I can't start earning income until I get 1,000 subscribers, and I'm not there yet, so it'd be really awesome if I could get there, because I could really use the additional income stream, and it doesn't cost anyone anything to subscribe. Anyway, if you like what you see, follow me, and I'll be back with part 2 when all of this is done, because this is just going to be like another 30 minutes of me folding and cutting. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful good day. Goodbye, everybody.